Welcome to our channel, we're glad you're here. Today we're diving into a topic more loaded than a Thanksgiving turkey, one that stirs up emotions and debates across the globe. We're talking about anti-American sentiment around the world, a complex and multifaceted issue. Now before you fire up the comments section, let's be clear. This isn't about pointing fingers or waving flags, it's about understanding the reasons behind these sentiments, without judgment or bias. It's about understanding why, in some corners of the world, the US is about as popular as a skunk at a picnic. We're talking cultural clashes, historical hangovers, and political power plays that have shaped these views over time. Over the next few chapters, we'll be traveling the globe to unpack why some folks just can't stand the stars and stripes. We'll explore the roots of these feelings and their impact on international relations. Buckle up, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this intriguing and often controversial topic. North Korea, the land of secretive dictators and enough military parades to make a marching band blush. Beneath the theatrics lies a deep-seated animosity towards America, stretching back to the Korean War. That conflict, which ended in a stalemate in 1953, never officially ended. North Korea's propaganda machine churns out anti-American rhetoric, painting the US as a warmongering bully. This narrative, curated by the Kim regime, resonates with many North Koreans who have known nothing else. It's a potent mix of historical grievances, political manipulation, and genuine fear. South of the border lies Venezuela, a land with vast oil reserves and a government that's been giving Uncle Sam the stink eye for decades. Venezuela's socialist government sees the US as the ultimate capitalist puppet master. They point to America's history of intervention in Latin America as evidence of their meddling ways. The US's involvement in Venezuela's oil industry is seen as economic imperialism. Hugo Chavez and his successor Nicolas Maduro have blamed America for everything from economic sabotage to assassination attempts. For many Venezuelans, the US remains a convenient scapegoat for their struggles. We're heading to the Middle East, where Iran is practically the reigning champion of anti-American sentiment. The seeds of this animosity were sown in 1953 with the CIA-orchestrated coup that ousted Iran's prime minister. Fast forward to 1979 and the Iranian Revolution, which saw the Shah overthrown and replaced with an Islamic Republic. The US, having supported the Shah, suddenly found itself public enemy number one. The ensuing decades have seen a relentless cycle of sanctions, threats, and proxy conflicts. For many Iranians, the US remains the ultimate bad guy, a symbol of Western imperialism. Let's set sail for the Caribbean, where the relationship with the US is complicated, to say the least. We're talking about Cuba, an island nation just 90 miles off the coast of Florida. In 1959, Fidel Castro overthrew the US-backed Batista dictatorship, kicking off decades of tension. The US slapped an embargo on Cuba, cutting them off from the American economy. Over the decades, the embargo has become a rallying cry for the Cuban government. While the relationship thawed somewhat under Obama, the Trump administration tightened sanctions again. Beneath the surface lies a complex history of resentment and mistrust. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading to Pakistan, a country where the relationship with the US is complicated and layered with historical nuances. On paper, the US and Pakistan are supposed to be best friends forever, allies in the fight against terrorism and partners in regional stability. But in reality, it's more like a couple on the verge of a messy breakup, filled with arguments and misunderstandings. The US has poured billions of dollars in aid into Pakistan, funding various projects and military assistance, but has also launched controversial drone strikes on their soil, causing civilian casualties and widespread anger. Many Pakistanis view the US as an unreliable ally, more interested in its own strategic interests than in genuine partnership, leading to protests and public outcry. The cultural clashes and historical baggage, including past betrayals and broken promises, have created a breeding ground for deep-seated mistrust and resentment. The relationship is too fraught with suspicion and conflicting agendas to ever truly blossom into a genuine partnership, leaving both nations in a state of perpetual tension and uncertainty. Well, comrades, it seems we've stumbled into the icy embrace of Mother Russia. Russia and the US go way back to the Cold War, locked in an ideological battle for global dominance. These days, the anti-American sentiment in Russia is about NATO encroachment and American meddling. Russia, under Vladimir Putin, has become adept at weaponizing information to undermine trust in the West. The cultural differences add to the mistrust, with Russia viewing the US as a bastion of crass individualism. The relationship is too deeply rooted in mistrust to ever truly thaw. Hold on to your dumplings, folks, because we're venturing into the heart of China. The US-China relationship is a complex tapestry of economic interdependence and strategic rivalry. They're each other's biggest trading partners but are locked in a geopolitical tug-of-war. The ideological divide fuels mistrust, with China viewing the US as a threat to its authoritarian government. Recent years have seen anti-American sentiment in China rise due to trade wars and territorial disputes. The US accuses China of intellectual property theft and human rights abuses. The relationship is too complex and fraught with competition to ever be anything but a delicate balancing act. We're stepping into the heart of a war-torn nation, Syria, where anti-American sentiment runs deep. The US has played a significant role in shaping the Syrian conflict, not always for the better. The US intervention has been widely criticized for its unintended consequences. Many Syrians view the US as a destabilizing force, more interested in its own goals. Civilian casualties caused by US airstrikes have fueled anti-American sentiment. The role of US media has also been criticized for presenting a biased narrative. For many Syrians, the US will forever be associated with their suffering. We're venturing into the heart of Eastern Europe, Belarus, often dubbed Europe's last dictatorship. Under the rule of Alexander Lukashenko, Belarus has a bone to pick with the US. Lukashenko accuses the US of trying to overthrow his government and orchestrating protests. The US criticizes Lukashenko's human rights record and his relationship with Russia. Many Belarusians see the US as a threat to their stability and a meddling force. Belarus is heavily dependent on Russia, and US sanctions have added to their economic hardship. Anti-American sentiment in Belarus is a mix of historical grievances and political manipulation. We're navigating the tumultuous terrain of the Balkans, specifically Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia's story is one of ethnic tensions and a fragile peace brokered by the US. The US intervention in the 1990s helped end the war but left a nuanced legacy. Some Bosnians view the US intervention as too little, too late. NATO's involvement is seen as a symbol of Western interventionism. The issue of Kosovo's independence has further fueled anti-American sentiment. The relationship remains complex and haunted by the ghosts of the past. Well, there you have it, folks. We've taken a deep dive into the intricate web of global politics, a whirlwind tour of anti-American sentiment around the globe, showcasing the diverse reasons behind it. We've seen how historical grievances, political machinations, economic anxieties, and power struggles shape these sentiments. Cultural clashes and misunderstandings also play a significant role in this complex issue. It's a reminder that the world is a messy, complicated place, full of diverse perspectives and experiences. Understanding the perspectives of others is crucial for fostering global harmony and cooperation. If there's one thing to take away, it's that the world doesn't fit neatly into us versus them categories. It's far more nuanced. Understanding the context and history behind anti-American sentiment can be enlightening and eye-opening. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Your support helps us create more insightful videos. See you next time.